to do something different and do a recording from above to let you guys see what I see when I look at my tank. That's Spock getting in the way. So here's a little tour of the 400 gallon. It's 6.5 months old. And what we're looking at right here in the very bottom is a piece of the orange blob from my previous tank. Then of course a whole bunch of zoanthids. There's a leptastria next to just south of that chalice with the orange dots. Some more zoanthids over there on the left. Another chalice, that's a Acan echinata. And then I've got all these different gorgonians that are doing really, really well. And then of course my hammer corals that I enjoy so much. What I did was set my iPhone inside one of these floater boxes. So you're getting a little bit of a reaction from the surface of the water moving the box up and down. But I thought it'd be better to hold the box than to let it drift. This bluish chalice came from Florida when I was there earlier this year. And here's a couple of tiny plates that popped off the mother colony. Two different types of bird's nest. Another piece of the orange blob. Down at the bottom of the video is a blasto and some sophastria and one of my bubble tip anemones. Then here's a tiny blue twort dead center in the picture that you can almost make out. It's I believe it's from Steve Miller. Then a bird's nest, another one. I just have a fascination with bird's nests with this tank, as you can see. There's a pajama cardinal. Some monopore digitata. Another chalice, some anthias. Acan Lord Howensis. Another chalice. Another Acan echinata. Two deepwater SPS side by side. A war coral. A tongue plate from Australia. Another chalice. And then this is kind of my favorite spot in the tank actually. All these different SPS. All different kinds, all different colors, all different textures. This one right here, this big colony, is an Austera. And I don't know what this little guy is. And another bird's nest. And a bottle brush. With an anthias. You'll see the chalice under that pajama cardinal, another big one. There's the parent colony of all the Lofungia plates. And a chili pepper monty in the lower right. And then that bright blue thing in the center is a Loripes acropora. And I don't know what the one is to its right, but look at all those green polyps. Awesome. There's some Porites. Another war coral or Fabia. This is an acro from my last tank, the Crayola acropora. Acropora plana. Then this is a big colony I got from my buddy Ryan that's been growing in and doubled in size over the last few months. I like it because it's really furry, but it's not a millie. You can see a couple more SPS. At the very bottom, that bright green one's Pavona. Then here's a type of Platygyra possibly that I got from Drew. A tricolor, and then a little piece of Taraki that's not very happy. And then that green thing that I never remember the name of, and to its right is the Sunset Monopora. And you can see some more orange blob, as well as a very large millie colony that's supposed to be, well, it's supposed to be raspberry with blue tips. It's not really there yet, but this is a 10K light. This is a green slimer that's been puddling out very nicely. And to its right, that mostly dead coral with a snail on it is actually life coming back from a Tyree tricolor Ellie I had many years ago, and there's a little bit of life coming out. You can see 3 different areas of growth. And then that long stick is supposed to be a Becker's tort that's miserable. I don't know why, I have no idea, but it refuses to die. Maybe today's the day. This is Samacora. Then here's a Monopora digitata, dead center, bright green. There's another Monopora here in front of this larger Pasillipora. And then I really like this little guy right here. Probably a Garf bonsai. And then I think this one is another tort, possibly. I guess it's not going to focus very well for you. There it goes. And then down here is a kryptonite candy cane. And some Blue Ridge coral. And then a Platygyra penny. And of course my clownfish with a rose bubble tip that is snuggled up against a different type of bubble tip that's essentially tan or brown. And here's another Cephastria. And a little more Pavona. I have Pavona everywhere because I like it. You can even see a little piece right there under the bird's nest. That is pink lemonade. Not very pink. Not very lemonade. And then that awesome blue tort. So that's kind of a tour of the tank from above. I could just let this drift across for a while and let you guys just take in whatever's going on. Hopefully you don't get seasick. Oh, here's a coral I skipped. This is a Scripps Acropora. It's a fast-growing acro. It's at the top of my rock work. So I'm looking forward to seeing that come out of nowhere and get big and bushy. And a snail that needs rescuing.